Hey guys, welcome to today's video. So today we're going to be talking about a very interesting topic. We're going to be talking about three major reasons why women continue to struggle with self-confidence. I'm also going to be sharing tips on how, if you're a woman, how you can essentially utilize these tips to improve your self-confidence and your self-worthiness issues. So, why am I doing this video? I'm doing this video because I have been privileged to have worked with quite a number of women, and from those sessions that I've had, there are certain issues that have come up that has been part of the journeys of some of these women. And I thought it was pretty interesting to take a little bit of a deep dive into why a woman continues to struggle with self-confidence, even though she's like a boss babe and things like that as well. So that's why I'm doing this video. All right, let's get started. So one of the very first reasons that women continue to struggle with self-confidence issues is because of their upbringing. So a lot of women have been brought up in environments where there wasn't any drivers or any things instilled in you to have confidence. You were usually at the back burner or doing something that was serving other people but not serving yourself. And so you kind of grow up lacking that self-confidence, that self-esteem that you need to truly be you in this world. A lot of us were also brought up in a way that, you were kind of like pushed to the back. It's like, okay, let other people shine. Your role is just to be supportive and be a nice, good little girl, and that's it, right? And the danger of that is, of course, you get into the professional environment or you grow up as an adult and you lack the basic skills and abilities to assert yourself and just kind of own who you are as a person. And if you're not careful, you're going to continue going on with this upbringing without actually realizing that you're lacking the basic backbone for what classifies you as a woman. So yes, number one reason is upbringing. Another reason is, ta-da, societal expectations. So this kind of follows up from my previous point, but in this point, what I've noticed, and also in my life, is that as a woman, there's certain expectations of you. When you get to a certain age, you're expected to, now you're expected to go to school, get a job, get married, have kids, and things like that. And when you're not in that phase at that age, it can kind of affect your confidence. So for example, if you probably go out to a party with your friends or your aunties and your uncles, and then you get there and they're asking you, so are you married now? Or do you have a second child? Or is your child doing this and that and that and that? And the expectations keep going on and on and on, and it can get very hard to keep up. Another aspect of societal expectations are, how do I put this? As a woman, you do feel a lot more pressure to look a certain part. You do feel a lot more pressure to keep up with your exterior, to keep up with your looks as well. So you're expected to be a boss babe, the kick-ass wife, and be a supermodel. And I've heard so many women say this because as a woman, your body goes through certain changes in life. If you're married and you have kids, your body will change. And so when that happens and there's this expectation for you to be a supermodel, but you just had a baby, it's like, how do I keep up? Where do I even start? in all of that, and as all of that is happening, it can cause you to lose yourself. And before you know, you don't even recognize who you are, but there's still that constant will that is telling you what you're supposed to be, what you're supposed to do at just certain age or stage of your life, where you're supposed to go. And when you compare where you are right now with these expectations and they don't match, you can take a hit on your confidence and your self-worth and your self-esteem. And so that's another reason why women continue to struggle with that. Another reason is fear. So I'm trying to articulate this in the best way. So as a woman, there's always, at least from my perspective, there's always a certain level of healthy fear that we feel internally. And I think that comes from the need to always feel secure. I think it's one of the top needs of a woman. There's always that healthy fear. And so I remember when I was in school and maybe the teacher asks a question, the guys will be like, they're like right to it. And for me, I knew the answer. Like I knew it, but there was just that fear. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't say it. Maybe I shouldn't stand too tall. I don't know. And I think that fear, it goes with you everywhere that you're going. It comes up in situations where you just want to pull back a little bit. I'm trying to describe it, but I hope it's getting across to you guys. But there's just a natural fear that has been instilled in women, and I think it's DNA encoded, and I believe it was for healthy reasons, to protect us, right? Because we are the nurturers on earth. But that fear goes with us into all other aspects of our lives, and because of that fear, there is a general expectation that when it comes to certain situations, a woman will feel less confident in comparison to others who may be present in that situation as they are. So I hope I articulated that. I'm not sure how else to describe it, but if you're a woman who's watching this video, you know what I'm talking about. That hesitation that you have when you want to take some certain actions, that's the fear that I'm talking about. Some other people may not have it, but you have it. And I think a part of that also has to do with the strong intuition that we have, and we pay attention to that. And so that also feeds into that, if that makes sense. That I wanted to mention is that fear that I'm talking about, I believe because of point number one, the woman's upbringing, and number two, societal expectations, I think that nourishes the fear. So let's say, for example, when I'm with my niece and my nephew, if my niece is playing, I'm like, be careful, right? And when my nephew is like, I'm like, he's got it. So even I'm guilty of this as well. And I think because of that, again, growing up, you're thought to be, be careful, you're a girl, you're a female, and things like that. That enriches the fear that's in us. And so when we're in those types of situations where we need to do it and things like that, there is that natural hesitation, right? And that plays into your decision-making process, as well as how you project confidence when you are in certain situations as well. So another reason that I wanted to quickly mention is the lack or inability of self-care in the life of a modern woman. So as a woman, you're playing a lot of roles, right? You could be a mom, a wife, or a business owner, a corporate worker, a daughter-in-law, a daughter, a sister-in-law, a friend, and you have all of these roles that you're playing, just one person. And when you are feeding out a lot of energy to other things and not feeding energy into yourself, you will be unable to show up in the way that you've been designed, and you will lose yourself. Let's be real here. And when you lose yourself, of course, your self-confidence down, your self-esteem down, your self-worthiness down. And what's going to happen is that you're going to struggle. You're going to live life from a place of struggle, because you're just give, and you're not taking care of yourself. You're not practicing and being intentional about your self-care, so that you can be in a capacity to give from your overflow versus from your natural state, right? And when you do this on a repeated basis, yeah, you can see how very quickly that can lead to a woman who's unhappy and just, again, living life from a place of struggle. Okay, so these are some of the reasons that I've noticed women continue to struggle with their self-confidence in their lives. So what can you do about it? Let's get right into it. Number one, you're going to have to work on your self-worthiness and your self-esteem. When you fix that, your self-confidence is going to go up. You're going to have to know that regardless of whatever situation that you're currently in, you are worthy of the good things in life. You are worthy of a happy life. You are worthy of the yummy, delicious things in life. You're going to have to know that. Number two is you're going to have to remove any conditioning that you have been brought up with to make you feel less confident. So for example, if you have been, originally told that, oh, you cannot do this, you shouldn't do this, things like that, you're going to have to do your inner work to release all of that, release all of those conditioning, and fill yourself with uplifting things and words that can bring you up. Okay, so this is where practicing doing your inner work, and then once you've done your inner work, practicing affirmations on a daily basis to make sure that you're maintaining that positive, vibrant, radiant self of yours. Number three, you're also going to essentially know that, some days you may not necessarily feel the most confident, right? You can do all of this work and still find yourself in situations where you're still hesitating, you're still feeling that fear. I want you to work with that. Work with the fear that comes up each time you feel a hesitation or you feel fearful about showing up in your true, authentic self. Work with that fear, sit with it, hug it, smile, and tell it that, you know what, thank you for protecting me. I'm still going to do this. And then work through it and do whatever you need to do. Okay? So you're going to, again, work through the fear and take the action to do whatever you need to do. Don't wait to stop feeling fearful before you take opportunities and essentially take actions to bring about the life that you want to lead in this world. Another tip is to focus on being intentional about your self-care. This is something that requires a separate video, and I'm super excited to create that, so that's going to come in the future. But be intentional about caring for yourself. I understand you're playing 7 to 10 roles on a daily basis and you feel drained. But something that you need to understand is that when you are serving from a place of feeling drained and just feeling like you have to give, you're not doing anybody a favor. You're definitely not doing yourself a favor. But even the people that you are feeling like you need to nurture, you're not doing anybody any favor. I don't want anything from anybody who feels like she has to do something for me. I don't want it. I don't want anything from anybody who is drained and they're literally dragging and crawling just so that they can get by. It feels very icky, and I don't want that. I want to receive good things from people who are happy and in their overflow and are able to give me that gift, not from a place of deficit or fear, but from a place of happiness and joy and abundance. That's what I want. And I believe that the people that you are surrounded by will feel the difference when you start to take care of yourself and make sure that you are given from a place of overflow and abundance, not deficit and feeling like you have to do something. I don't want that. It's a very icky energy to be around, and no, thank you. So take care of yourself. Be intentional. This is not about spending thousands of dollars of going to the spa, doing your nails, doing your hair. No, it's none of that. This is about making a decision to prioritize yourself on a daily basis and then starting small from that. So I want you to take one action that prioritizes you for that day. A good example will be, say you wake up in the morning and you get your kids ready or you make breakfast or something like that. Before you do that, you could say, hey, maybe I'm going to go jogging today. You know what? Maybe I'm going to do 10 minutes of Zumba or something like that. Or hey, maybe I'm going to do some workout, even if it's 5 minutes or 10 minutes. Or maybe I'm going to do some journaling, something that is intentional about you and an action that is being taken to pour into you. You cannot give from an empty cup. Be intentional about doing things that pour into you. And I promise you, when you are filled up, oh, girl, life feels good. And you don't have to do. Things just happen naturally. And it feels good to you. And it also feels good to the people around you as well. All right, so those are my tips. I hope you found this video useful. It was so much fun creating it. I'm gonna have content related to this coming up in the next few weeks. Maybe, are we saying that? Yeah, okay. Other than that, I will see you in the next video. Bye.